I'm a football dad. I'm a football dad. And if you're a football dad, a lot of what I say today you will either relate with or might even annoy you, right? Um, by a football dad, I mean that week to week, I'm taking my children to football sessions, football games. My whole weekly schedule is probably like yours or someone in your family where you're consistently drawn from pillar to post going to sessions, right? But I'm talking to you football dads because I've got a little bone to pick or whatever the expression is. Because I see it. Like there's something that shows up, right? I'm at the side of these cages, I'm at the side of these games, and I'm talking to these football dads, right? And there's something as a coach, a guy that's for the past 10 years I've helped men get into great shape. I've seen like some similarities and some like common themes in the bullshit that like these dads relay to their children that show up in their own personal lives, which makes sense, right? But I just want to have a talk. I want to have a discussion, and I'll give you an example, right? So, like, I'll be on the side of a pitch, right, and I make a thing like I might make eye contact with my son, little smile, or I might just like point in a direction, but I make a big thing of not communicating in that moment, right? But I'm pretty sure all of you lot that have been to a game, there's like fucking a whole lot of fathers that are like really enthusiastic about like giving their children information and really deliberately like pushing their children to fucking perform in a way that they want, that they believe is best, right? That they believe is best. That I think this is how my son should perform. I understand football. I know football. I know football, and I want my knowledge to reflect in my son's performance, right? And it fucking grinds my bones a little bit. It grinds my bones for many reasons. First and foremost, I think that for the majority of the time it has a negative effect on the child on the pitch. But ultimately, when it comes to my coaching, from a coaching perspective, half of these dads are just fucking liars. They're just liars. They're liars. More than half. 95%. First and foremost, they couldn't fucking kick a ball 20 yards in the right direction if they tried. But secondly, because they're poor leaders. And I know what you're thinking. How have you brought leadership into this? How have you brought leadership as like into this moment, this particular moment? We're just talking about football, Damien. We're talking about a man, a father trying to communicate his ideas of football to his son or his young person. It's everything. It's everything. It's everything. It's everything. It's fucking everything. It's everything. It shows up in everything we do. Our insecurities, right? Our insecurities, our inadequacies as a father, as a man, as a leader, right? First and foremost. First and foremost. How many of these fathers stand on the side of the pitch fucking out of shape? Out of shape. Physically and mentally. Unprepared to get themselves in the shape that's needed to optimize fatherhood. But they're talking to a fucking young athlete, a boy out there with dreams, dreams that he could or couldn't fulfill. But in that moment, he's got dreams, right? And the person screaming out to him has given up on his dreams, has given up on his responsibilities as a father. And it sounds harsh, given up on his responsibilities as a father. Oh, absolutely. 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 Anybody that has the ability to critically think, right, and take time and not get in their emotions about what I'm saying here will really appreciate what I'm saying. Your responsibility as a father is to be in great shape, good shape at the very least. And you're infuriated, and your fucking overpowering and overwhelming self is projecting your fucking anger, your disappointment, or your whatever it may be onto your child in that moment. And that's what I see. That's what I see. I see fucking poor leaders spilling out a whole bunch of fucking lost hope and lost dreams and insecurities onto that child. And as I said, this isn't about football for me. This is about the man making sure he's the man before trying to fucking behave like the man. I'm going there. I'm going there. It's infuriating. It's infuriating. Can we please take some responsibility before we fucking act, or fucking before we try to have expectations, or high expectations, or fucking high demands of someone around us? Can we ensure that we internalize that and we fucking lift ourselves to those expectations? I know what you're thinking, Damien. It doesn't actually make sense. You're talking about someone giving their ideas of fucking a sport over to a young man or a young person, and how what's this got to do with their health in this moment? Absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. And I'll tell you why. Because a father is his son's first superhero. Is because if you see the statistics, right, any high performing, any fucking successful person has a great role model. And you are being fucking lazy and projecting words in that moment to get that child to fulfill, to perform high in that moment. But you're not prepared. You're infuriated, you're projecting, but you're not prepared to fucking take it upon yourself and get yourself in great shape. Get yourself in the shape necessary to inspire him. Other than that moment, outside that moment, other than that moment. And this is what infuriates me. The disappointment that I see in these guys. This is what the football fathers have taught me. The disappointment, the fucking negativity that I hear spill out into this child underperforming in that moment in their mind. And then you're not looking in the mirror, mate. You're not looking in the mirror. Poor leadership. Poor leadership. I see it time and time again. Time and time again. I had some statistics. I'm not gonna reel them off in regards to leadership and how important a father's role is in terms of leadership in a child's life. All right, and take what you want from it. You can obviously remove the connection between that moment and you having a responsibility to look after yourself. But I'm saying, cool. If the infuriation can be so heightened because your child, or you're projecting so much anger and disappointment because your child's not performing, well, then what about you? Secondly, number two, I won't keep you much longer, right? Secondly, self development, right? This is what these fucking fathers on the pitch have taught me, right? I've spent some money on self development. I've worked on myself. I've read some books, NLP practitioner, CDP, CTB practitioner, cognitive behavioral therapy practitioner. I'm in the process. I know these aren't fucking master's degrees, but I'm working on myself. Read a lot, man. Trying, coaches, whatever, right? And and what I've realized is a lot of people don't appreciate that self development and growth. There's formulas. There's formulas. There's like scientific formulas. There's formulas. Like you can actually fucking access this. You can read up on steps, processes, formulas, principles of success, right? That you can then go about and execute. Are they 100% foolproof? No, no. But you can create a formula from these formulas that works for you. And a lot of people don't realize that. And it's lazy again. So I'm digging into this lazy leadership. A lot of these guys, a lot of these men, they just fucking shout. They just shout. And I'm shouting louder so he should listen. Go and see studies. Go and see studies. Go and look at studies, man, on how children respond to certain things. Scientifically proven. Go and look at studies on successful parenting, on growth, on environments, on character traits, on different individuals. Growth centered formulas. Like I'm focusing my growth on Sky is different from Crew, who's different from Rogue. Sky responds to this, Crew doesn't. These people are individuals. There's literally books telling us that we fucking need to appreciate this. But shouting is the parenting style. Being angry is proof that I am care and I'm a good parent. Again, for me, anger, all these things are reflections of just your insecurities, your inadequacies showing up. What about patience? What about taking time? What about love? What about empathy? This is a rant. It's not entirely health orientated. It isn't in is not entirely all connected, but I just want to give an insight to what it's like being a football dad, and seeing it. I played football myself, man, not to the greatest level. I daren't push my ideas of football onto my son. I daren't do that. I can give him ideas that he can run with, and then he can also reject. There's principles. You have to work hard, but I stand there and I, first and foremost, appreciate his efforts. I love him for his efforts. I give him ideas. I share. I guide him. I don't take his dream and make it mine and push my idea, because then even when he achieves it, he's just achieving what I believe to be success rather than his own. Football dads, stop pissing me off. Monday morning rant, afternoon.